Welcome to another episode of the Rich Jenkins Show. Hopefully, you guys are having an amazing day today. It's a gorgeous day outside. Well, I guess it depends on where you are. Where I am, it's a beautiful day. And I hope that wherever you are, it's a beautiful day for you as well. Um, I want to talk about the debate. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the debate. Um, Let me say this. I am not an undecided voter. Okay. I knew who I was voting for 2 years ago. I don't need anything extra from either side in order for me to make a decision on where my vote is going come November, right? That's just me. I get it. There are a lot of people out there who are undecided for their own reasons or whatever. I get it. I'm just not one of them. Okay, I know who I'm voting for. Um, so when I watch the debate, I watch it a little bit different than some people may watch it. Like I said, there's a lot of undecided voters out there, um, and they're watching it um, to gain something, um, to learn something that will help them make uh, an informed decision in November. Okay, I'm not one of those people. Excuse me, I'm not one of those people. So when I watch the debate, I watch it a bit differently. I watch it from an entertainment standpoint, right? It's pure entertainment for me. Um, One of the reasons it's entertainment for me because Trump, I know he gonna go off the rails, and I'll be watching just to get a laugh, just to watch him hang himself, because he's gonna say some shit that's gonna have me on the floor in stitches. Okay, that's why I watch the debates. The Joe Biden, the one he had with Joe Biden, boy, I watched every minute of that goddamn debate. I laughed my ass off because he's always gonna say something that's gonna have me tickle pink. And last night did not disappoint. Okay? But there were other things about the debate that I wanted to talk about today in a lighthearted kind of way. And then when I woke up this morning, I go online, I start reading through tweets and stuff from what the people, are saying. And I start going through the news cycle a little bit to see what else everyone's saying, 12 hours later, whatever it was. And my tone kind of changed just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, not a whole lot. Um, because I woke up this morning to a lot of things that I feel I should acknowledge and speak on that I don't necessarily want to, you know. But there are a lot of people out there who feel as if that somehow Trump got in, uh, had an unfair advantage last night on ABC. And I'm trying to figure out how or even why they feel that way, because that ain't what I got from it. I At no point did I ever look at that debate and say Trump is not being treated fairly. Now, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I do not like Donald Trump. I believe Donald Trump is a racist. He's a rapist, womanizer, sexual assaulter. Like, Donald Trump is the epitome of evil in my eyes. But even with me feeling that way about Donald Trump, there are times where I will look at something the media says and go, he didn't, I don't think he meant it that way. I try to be as unbiased as I can, because I do believe even, the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then. And although I do believe he is the definition of pure evil at times, um, that doesn't mean that I look at everything that's said about him and go, yep. Now, there's been times where I was like, I don't think he meant that. That's not really what he said, you know? Um, but there was no point in throwing the debate last night where I thought that he was getting that he had an unfair advantage last night. I don't know what debate these people watching, and this is the part about his base that annoys me the most, because um, they're, they're idiots. These are fucking complete idiots. Now, one of the things they talked about was the fact checking, right? That Donald Trump had an unfair advantage because ABC moderators were fact checking Donald Trump on the spot, and they didn't do it with Kamala Harris. Now, after the debate was over, I was watching some post debate coverage. I was also in the gym last night working out, listening to um, post debate coverage, and there were times in which they did say that um, Kamala Harris um, was didn't tell the truth or stretched a lie or whatever. Um, and these came afterwards. And I seen CNN said that Kamala Harris told at least one lie, and Donald Trump told at least 33. But the biggest thing with his supporters were, why wasn't he being fact checked in the moment? I mean, why wasn't she being fact checked in the moment the way Donald Trump was being fact checked in the moment? And let me just give it to you as simple as possible. It's because when Donald Trump lied, we all fucking knew he was lying. It doesn't it doesn't take much time to know that he's fucking lying. Let me give you an example, real quick, right? If I sat here and told you, right, where you are right now, there's a thunderstorm coming, severe thunderstorm coming, right? Tornado warning. You might want to, bunker down in your house somewhere, get somewhere safe, because it's going to come down hard, heavy, right? You could pull your phone out and research that and figure out if that's the truth or a lie, right? Simple as that. Pull your phone out, Google it real quick. What are you talking about, bros? It's 90 degrees, sunny. It's not going to rain. Where did you get your information from? That's a lie, right? That's a lie that you would have, because you didn't have any idea what the weather was going to be like. I just hit you with something new. So you have to take time out to do some research to figure it out. Everybody in the room, if it's 6 of us in the room, I came up with this. No one else may not have the information on hand to disprove what I'm saying. So someone has to look it up to make sure. Right? Now, let's say I sat here right now and told you, hey, sky's green. You better go, nigga, it's blue. Where the fuck do you see green at? It's blue. I'm looking at it right now. That's what Donald Trump was doing last night. Whatever Kamala Harris stretched or completely lied about was something that we had to find out afterwards, because it took time to actually kind of dig into those things to kind of figure out where this was coming from or if there's any truth to it. Donald Trump told you the sky was blue green, and immediately we knew that was a lie. That's why he was fact checked in the moment, because it was a lie. We knew it was a lie. We know it's a lie. There's no way that's true. I give you an example. I don't know where he's getting this. It is legal. I think he said in 20 states where it is completely legal for you to have an abortion after you give birth to the baby. Now, Donald, we know that killing a baby after it's born is murder. And we also know that murder is illegal in all 50 states. Where the fuck are people killing babies after they're born at? One's, no one's doing that. So it's easy to fact check him on those things right in the moment, because you use your fucking brain. Even if you got two brain cells, those two brain cells should better rattle together. You should better look and go, nigga, are you fucking, what did you just say? No one's having abortions at 7 and 8 months. That's a fucking lie. And that's why you can fact check him in the moment, because he tells such blatant lies, and which you know isn't the truth. When you tell a lie like that, it'll take 20 minutes to figure it out. You use your brain right in there in the moment and be like, Donald, stop it. Stop it. That's why he's fact checked in the moment, because the lies that he tell can be disproven on the spot. He has this other thing where he's saying that people are sending their kids off to school and they're getting gender reassignment surgeries in the fucking school. Where? What school? Show these parents that sending their little boys off to school at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by the time they come back at 3, they got a little girl. No, those things are not happening. They're not happening. That's why he can be fact checked in the moment. Because the lies that he tells are so egregious that all you have to do is think for 2 seconds and be like, that's a God, come on now. Let's be real for a second. He's going on TV just spewing shit. He gets his news from whatever he sees on Twitter or Truth Social or whatever he's using. And he comes right out there. Listen, this man is a former president. Okay? He is now running for re-election. Okay? He's running again for a second term. Available to him are the greatest resources and information in the world. Now, he doesn't have information to classified documents and stuff like that at the moment, okay? Because he doesn't have that clearance anymore. Okay? Joe Biden can give it to him. Joe Biden can just call him over to the White House and be like, hey, look, read this, and it's no longer classified. That's how classification works in the government, right? Once President shows who's talking about, it's no longer classified. But Biden ain't doing that. If he gets elected, if he wins the election, then he'll have uh um he'll have he'll be able to see all the information, because they got to get him ready, right? But none of this shit is classified. This is things that we all, the public, know or should know. He has access to the greatest resources in the world, and all the information he can use. Somehow he sees things online and runs with it. He's out telling a lie that Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, are killing cats and dogs and eating them. Eating them. What the fuck? Who said that? Now, I'm going to tell you where he got it from. There was a lady, not in Springfield, but Dayton, Ohio. I believe it was Dayton, Ohio. Black woman uh, uh, killed a cat, and allegedly she was eating it. Now, I didn't see her eat no damn cat. I seen the body cam footage. Police showed up. Someone in the background said that she was eating the cat, but there was no blood around her mouth, no one. I didn't see any of that stuff. It's a little dark. So maybe I just couldn't see it. But from what I saw, there was no evidence there that she ate the cat and stuff like that. And maybe she did. I don't know. I'm not. This is not what this is about. Whether she ate the cat or not. So let's, for the sake of the argument, let's just say she ate the cat. Right? Let's say police pulled up on this woman, found a dead cat, and there was evidence that she absolutely ate this cat. Okay? This is where it's coming from. One, this happened in Dayton, Ohio, not Springfield, Ohio. Two, this woman was mentally ill. And three, she was not Haitian, she was American. And then they try to make it as if it's not race baiting, as if it's not racially motivated. Of course, it's racially motivated because if there was, and I don't even know if the numbers are all the way correct, but they say I think 20,000 migrants, flooded Ohio, whatever. Let me say that. Let's just say, for instance, that number is 100% true. If these were immigrants, migrants, whatever the hell you want to call them, coming from predominantly white countries, would these rumors have come up? Would there have been, could you have shown me a white woman who allegedly ate a cat and then that spread like wildfire that migrants from predominantly white countries are coming into Ohio, killing people's animals and eating them? No, it wouldn't. All the migrant shit, like people come into this country from all over the place. All over the place. It ain't just Mexico and Haiti and Jamaica and whatever. It's not just the black and brown countries. People come into this country looking for citizenship from everywhere. But you only hear about those that look like this. And there's always a negative connotation attached to it. Of course, it's racially motivated. Let's quit with. Let's quit it. This is one of my issues with Donald Trump and his people because I don't support racism. Okay, I ain't with all. I can't. As a black man, bro, I can't fucking sit out here and vote for a white man that I know is racist. He doubled down on what he said of Central Park Five. The man is a racist, and you got black people standing up there, pounding on their fucking chest, going to war for him. For what? For what? If he could, he'd keep your ass out of Trump Towers. If you had an apartment, they'd kick your ass out. D.L. Hughley said it best. At this point, the only thing Donald Trump can do to keep Kamala Harris out the White House is if he bought it and refused to rent it to her. Donald Trump don't give a damn about you. Donald Trump cares about himself. He don't give a fuck about. Let me say something. Let's not even put race in the middle of it. White people, he don't even give a fuck about you either. He don't give a fuck about poor white people. He don't give a fuck about poor white people. He prey on your ability to believe, your gullibility, what I'll say. He fearmongers. Like he just throws out things that white America's afraid of. She's gonna take your guns. She's gonna take your guns. I'm a gun owner. I support the right to bear arms. I don't want my fucking guns taken away from me, but nothing that I've ever heard said they're gonna take your guns. I don't need a fucking AR-15 either. I don't need a motherfucking AK-47. I'm not a gun collector. Motherfucker, I got my gun to protect me and mine. So that fucking 9mm on my hip is all I need. You ain't gonna come in my house and see a bunch of guns spread all over the place. Nigga, I don't hunt. I don't fucking hunt. I don't need the fucking rifles. I need something quick that I can dig out the safe for the drawer and get busy when it's time to get busy. That's all I need. He plays on their fears. He knows them racist motherfuckers will eat that shit up if he told them black people were eating your cats and dogs. Seen the video today. It was 25 minutes long. I was going to watch the whole video because it was about that whole thing in Springfield, Ohio. I stopped even watching the video once I heard the motherfucker white man call them sand monkeys. These are the people you listening to. Sand monkeys. Man, get that shit out of here. I don't want to hear nothing this motherfucker got to say. For what? It's racially motivated. It's 100% racially motivated. Stop pretending like it's not. Because it is. Donald Trump don't give a shit about none of us. Donald Trump's trying to keep himself out of prison. That's all it is. He's trying to keep himself out of prison. Another thing that y'all got to stop doing is talking about, oh, she's been in office for 4 years. How come she ain't did nothing yet? She's the goddamn vice president. I almost said principal. Same concept. She is not the president. Her job as vice president is to speak the thoughts of the president of the United States. Her job is to go wherever President Biden tells her he needs her to go and delivers whatever message he needs her to deliver. She's not standing there delivering her own message. No, she has to deliver the message of the president. So when she goes to these other countries and talk to these foreign leaders, she's talking to them in place of President Biden because he can't be there, refuse to go, don't want to go, whatever the case may be. He delegates. He calls in, he says, hey, come, I need you to go talk to the president of Ukraine. And I need you to deliver these points to him. And then she gets her ass on a plane. She flies to wherever the hell she's going to meet the president of Ukraine at. They sit down and talk. And she lays out Joe Biden's points. And she'll probably say, Joe Biden and I, Joe Biden and I, Joe Biden and I. That's a job. She may agree with 100% of the things that Biden is doing. She may agree with it. She may not agree with it. But you know what she ain't going to do? She ain't going to fucking go in there and piss off her boss and jeopardize her job. So she's going to go in there and say what she got to say. She's going to do her job. You motherfuckers got jobs. How many times have your boss came in you and told you some shit that you knew was better? Or that your boss told you some shit that just didn't even make sense? And you knew there was a better way to do it. I was a supervisor. Our schedule was fucked up. And I went to our manager and I said, listen, man, there got to be a way to make this schedule better. Because the fact that we have split days off doesn't make sense. Like, it's horrible to have off on a Tuesday and a Thursday. But that shit is exhausting. So I redid the schedule on my own. And I made the schedule where all of the supervisors, we all had multiple days off, back-to-back days off. There was no more split days. I took it to my manager, and he didn't have to accept it. He could have just been like, what is this? Kobe. And threw that shit in the garbage. I follow what he told me to do if I want to keep my job. Now, luckily, he was ego-driven anyway. He didn't like the schedule, but a week later, a variation of that schedule was posted, and we all had multiple days off. But he didn't have to do it. And if he didn't do it, I would just have to go along with it. The schedule rotated, so I would have to just wait until the schedule came along in which I got multiple days off in a row. She's doing her job. She's doing the work of her boss. Her job is to speak and deliver his message in places that he isn't there. That's why you always notice that any vice president, whether it's Vice President Biden When he delivered it, it was Barack and I, Pence and Trump, President Trump and I. She ain't doing nothing different than any other vice president has done. She's delivering the message of her boss. That's her job. That's what she was hired to do. They went through an interview process, and Joe Biden decided that you are the best person to deliver my message for me when I am unable to do so. She's doing her job. That's it. Now, this is probably the last point I want to make following all it. There was a CNN thing last night where they had about, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 people who were all undecided voters in Pennsylvania. Okay. And they were, some of them were still undecided, I guess. Some of them knew where they were voting, whatever the case may be. But there was one woman there who said, I think that she said that she was voted for Trump because of the facts, and her life was better under Donald Trump. And I hear a lot of people say that their lives were so much better under Donald Trump. I hear it a lot. Not just from white people, I hear it from black people too. And I always got to go back when I hear it and go, was my life better under Donald Trump? I always got to think about that. Because I hear it so much, I'm like, thinking maybe my life was better under Donald Trump. And then I remember that for the first time in my life, I could say that I seen the KKK marching down the street, right? Hoods, the robes, the horses, just outside, showing their face, marching down the street. Donald Trump made it possible. These people walked down the street in honor and fighting for white supremacy in Charlottesville, Virginia. I remember that. Now, in my entire life, I could never have said I've seen anything like that in my life. But in that moment, I seen the KKK march in the honor of white supremacy through Charlottesville, Virginia, and where people got hurt and someone got killed. Trump made it easier for these racist fuckers to come out and show their racism. They was no longer afraid. They didn't need the hoods anymore. This happened under Donald Trump. Now, I never seen that happen under Barack Obama. I never seen that happen under Bill Clinton. I never seen that happen under George Bush. I never seen that happen under the other Bush. Uh, listen, I've lived through like, I don't know, 5 or 6 presidents that I can remember. I've never seen that before. But it was 2018, I believe it was. I seen the KKK marching through the streets of Charlottesville, Virginia, in support of white supremacy. And most of us have never seen. You have to go back to our great grandparents to get those kind of stories. I'm gonna be able to tell my fucking kid, fuck that. My kids will be able to tell their grandkids that they witnessed that because they were here. Did we forget that we were under like under Trump? We had like the worst global pandemic ever. Now, I'm not saying that Trump caused the pandemic. We know that didn't happen. But we do know is that he himself refused to shut the country down. We were one of the last countries, if I remember right, to actually go into isolation. Right? Like there were local bans in each city or state that you lived in. Florida, mother was flocking to Florida because Florida was like, we ain't shutting shit down. It wasn't until they had the federal shutdown where Florida had to shut it down. Tell people, hey, wrap it up, go home, party's over. right? And we went into a shutdown for like, what was it, 2 years almost. And in this time, Donald Trump gave you lie after lie after lie. He knew about this in October of October. He knew about this in October. We did nothing about it, as he's always done. Remember when the two Max 8 planes crashed? Lion Air, and I think it was Egypt Air or something, or Ethiopian Air or something. When they crashed and all them people, 300 some people died, and down in the rest of the world said we shut these planes the fuck down until Boeing figure out what's going on, and Donald Trump didn't want to do it, even though there was evidence there that these planes are flawed and unsafe to fly because they were falling out the fucking sky 9 months apart, killing 360 something people. Same thing with COVID. He knew COVID was there. He knew COVID was coming. He knew COVID was real. He knew COVID was dangerous, but his ego wouldn't allow him to accept it. So what did he do? He bullshit around and tell you lies. He told you that it's just going to go away in April. When it starts getting hot, it'll go away. By Easter, it'll be gone. That didn't happen. He started telling you people, fucking drink bleach. Bleach kill it. Drink bleach. He also went and talked to some scientists or something and was trying to figure out a way to stick UV lights into people because he said that will kill the virus. Where would we bet on the Trump? Because he gave us $1,200. He didn't even want to give it to you. You fought motherfuckers that came in for him over $1,200, and it was $1,200 he did not want to give. He didn't want to give it. Now, I'm not an economist, right? But I do have a decent memory. I'm not saying I have the best memory in the world. Let me say this to you, right? When the world shut down, everything was done, right? There wasn't producing much. There was really nothing going on in the world. Okay? We had food shortages. Y'all remember that? We had shortages on everything. In fact, something as stupid as like the PlayStation. Remember that was like buying a PlayStation was like buying a Bugatti. Like they were putting them out in certain stores at like 20 at a time. And they would disappear like that because they didn't have the chips to mass produce these things. Because the world was shut down. No one was working. And I'm sure that's what drove the prices up. Because even when you put your car in the shop for minor things that needed minor parts, the parts wasn't available. So your car either stayed broken for an extended period of time, longer than it should have, or longer than it would have in any other normal case, or you had to pay above market price to get these parts because they were such a rarity. It wasn't just laying around anywhere. You just couldn't make a phone call and it came 6 hours later or the next day. It wasn't that easy. And then once the world kind of opened back up and started opening back up, everything was higher. Food was higher, cars were higher, parts were higher, everything was higher. Now, I'm not saying that we have the same food prices today that we had 40 years ago. I'm not saying that because things have gotten worse. But that shit started with COVID. Now, what appears to me is that people seeing, you know, that you are willing to pay for those prices and decided we want to keep these prices. Matter of fact, let's hike them up a little bit. It's greed. A lot of people got rich during the pandemic. A lot of people made a lot of money during the pandemic. That's why people say my life was a lot better under Trump because it was getting those loans and shit like that for you to give it. That was giving away fucking money and you didn't have to pay it back. If you take that away, Take away that little $1,200 that he didn't want to give you. Right? Just take that shit away. And I don't even think the loans came under Trump, to be honest with you. I think it was Biden. I have to look into that. But what part of Trump presidency was better for any of us? It was the most racially divided we had ever been, probably since the 1960s. Like, it was the first time in my life that I could walk out the door and see racism at any given time. Like, at this time, like, before that, like, white people would think. They weren't even thinking. They was just harsh. They didn't give a fuck because they had somebody in the office that made them feel as if they could be these things. Now, vote for who you want to vote for. Support who you want to support. I'm not here to tell you to vote for Harris. I'm not here to tell you to vote for Trump. I'm not here to talk. What I'm here is to give some sort of information about what you guys are talking about that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because some of you are not going to be making informed decisions come November. Some of y'all are going to make the biggest mistakes of your life because you're voting out of racism, or you're voting out of fear, or misinformation, or even worse, blatant lies. I don't trust politicians. Like, I'm not sitting around pretending that Kamala Harris is 100% honest. No, hell no. I'm not even a fan of Kamala Harris, to be honest with you. I'm really not. But what did it take for me to vote for Kamala over Trump? Simple. She ain't Trump. I believe that a woman should have the right to choose. Okay? And if you anti-abortion and you are pro-life, the best way for you to be anti-abortion and for the best way for you to be pro-life is when you get pregnant, have your baby. It's not rocket science. Don't have an abortion. If someone violates you, R-word you, and you end up pregnant, keep your baby. No one's telling you that you have to keep it. No one's telling you that you have to get rid of it. You have a choice of whether you want to keep your baby or get rid of your baby. So if you're pro-life and anti-abortion, then don't have an abortion. Have your baby. We should not be telling people what to do with their bodies. We should not be telling women that they have to have these babies. They don't want them. They don't want them. You should be able to abort your baby if you want to abort this baby. You should be able to get IVF treatments if you want IVF treatments. You should be able to have birth control methods available to you. You should be able to have all of these things. That's what this country was built on, correct? So if the country was built on the idea of freedom, why the fuck are you trying to take that away from people? Why are you trying to take the freedom of choice away from people? The same people who want to take away the freedom of choice are the same people who don't want the guns taken away from them. The same people who are trying to take away freedom of choice are the people who don't want their freedom of speech taken away from them. Some of y'all ain't using your brains. Some of y'all just fucking out here just moving off of pure malicious malice. Some of y'all have so much hate in your fucking blood, so much hate in your goddamn heart that you don't even use your brain, that you just want to go out there and you just want to make decisions because you're just angry. You just have so much hatred in your heart. That ain't the way to move. I don't want nobody telling me what to do with my goddamn body. If I don't, if I want to go tomorrow and get me a vasectomy done, I want to be able to go get me a vasectomy. And I don't want nobody telling me I can't do it. If I want to go out here and make a baby tomorrow, I want to be able to go out here and make a baby tomorrow. I don't want nobody telling me I can't do it. Donald Trump is a danger to us all. I don't give a fuck what the color of your skin is, but he is a danger to us all. And his reasons for running, in my opinion, is self-serving. Okay? The man doesn't want to go to prison. That's my thought. He shouldn't even be able to run. Okay? How can you be a felon and can't vote, but be a felon and can run for president? That shit doesn't make sense. I commit a crime, but I can't vote for the president. Fuck it, let me just go run. It doesn't make sense. If a felon can't vote, he shouldn't be able to be president. If a felon can be a president, he should be able to vote. It's rocket science. This country would be so much better if we operated off of common fucking sense. Okay? Simple as that. But vote for who you want to vote for. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm not voting for a liar, a blatant liar, because I don't believe in competence, telling the truth all the time either. But I'm not going to vote for a blatant liar. I'm not going to vote for someone who would look me dead in my ass in the fucking face and tell me a lie and try to convince me it's the truth when we both know it's a lie. I'm not doing it. All right? I'm just not doing that. I'm not voting for someone who was found guilty or liable for when he was sued back in the 70s for not wanting to rent to black people. I'm not voting for that. I'm not voting for someone who is a fucking convicted felon of 34 different felonies. I'm not convicted. I'm not voting for someone who's a fucking sexual assaulter, possibly a fucking pedophile. Did you guys forget about him saying he walked into those little girls' room at the fucking pageant that he ran on? He's a sexual assaulter, grab him by the pussy to let you do anything. I'm not voting for no motherfucker like that. I got a mother. I got daughters. Telling you right now, I ain't vote for him. Before Biden dropped out, I should say, Biden was the uncle that you didn't want watching the kids. He was the grandfather that you didn't want to watch the kids. Because you felt like at some point he was going to forget he babysat, right? He even told the kids, let go play hide and seek. And while the kids were hiding, he dozed off watching Matlock, right? And Trump is the uncle you warn the kids about, right? Hey, your Uncle Donald's coming on. Don't you sit on his goddamn lap. Right? That's who they are. Biden's not in the race anymore. That uncle you warn your kids about, still in the race. And let me tell y'all, don't you sit on his goddamn lap. I'll talk to y'all later.